Hello and welcome to Avenging Past 7. Today is day 134 of our free-to-play farming guide. I accidentally already accepted these logins today, um, right as I opened up the game, so I did that before recording. Let's see. I enjoyed Bad Batch yesterday. I can't remember if I talked about it yesterday. Um, I like I like seeing them just go through the galaxy and meet new people. And I've been thinking, like, what is the difference between Clone Wars and Bad Batch? Logan's always talking about how it's the same thing. You know, you have your small episodes, you have your big episodes. It's just building out the world. And I agree. I do agree. Um but watching through Clone Wars episodes and watching through Bad Batch episodes, I'm trying to think through like what is the difference between the small episodes of one versus the other? Why would people complain about small Bad Batch episodes, but not complain about small Clone Wars episodes? And when I first think about that question, the first answer that I just want to shout out is that the Clone Wars small episodes had meaning, which when it the small Bad Batch episodes have meaning. And I think like, well, it's because of the characters in the small episodes. And I think the difference, I think part of the difference really comes down to the characters in the small episodes of both shows. Small episodes in a Clone Wars show might include Domino Squad. We haven't seen Domino Squad in a few weeks, so now we get to see what's going on with Domino Squad. Or it might be Ahsoka making a friend, being very similar, I think, to Omega. Or it might be Anakin and Padme. Although usually when certain characters popped up on screen, you knew it's not going to be a small episode. And then I look at the small episodes of Bad Batch. And the small episodes of Bad Batch include the Bad Batch. It includes the same characters as the big episode from last week. And I think that's where the difference is on what is, I won't really say upsetting, but what causes a different reaction from fans for the small episodes in Bad Batch versus the small episodes in Clone Wars. The small episodes in Clone Wars included different characters than the big episodes in Clone Wars. Because when you knew, when it was a mission with Obi-Wan, Anakin, Ahsoka, and Captain Rex, you knew this was going to be a good episode. This was going to be a big episode. But when it was Domino Squad, or when it was when the episode pops up with the four droids and that little green general colonel, I just watched those episodes in season 5. You knew, okay, these are going to be kind of like smaller episodes. Most of the characters can't talk. These are a bunch of side characters. These are a bunch of brand new characters we've never seen before. This is going to be some smaller, laid-back episodes. But when you're looking at Bad Batch, you see the Bad Batch. These are the same people who were a part of the big episode last week. So this episode is going to be on the same level, right? And I think that's the difference. I think that is the difference. Is when you look at Bad Batch versus Clone Wars, the small episodes of Clone Wars kind of forewarned you in, okay, these characters are different. These aren't the same characters as our big episodes. These are the small characters. It's still going to be a decent story. Still going to be good. You're going to enjoy it. But it's not at this. It doesn't have the same stakes because these characters aren't the big characters. But with Bad Batch, it's the same characters every week, and so you don't know going in if this is going to be a high stakes or a low stakes episode going in, outside of maybe your second half of the story arc episodes, since many times Bad Batch has done 2 episode arcs this season. And I think that's the difference. They're not bad episodes. I don't think Bad Batch has had a bad episode. But we don't get forewarned. We don't get, like, okay, it's a small episode, but these are small characters anyways, it doesn't matter. We're not losing time with a really good story with our big characters. But you could think that. Someone could think that of these are the titular characters. Why are they doing such a small mission? Let the small episode be some side characters. But Bad Batch isn't all about the galaxy like Clone Wars was. Clone Wars was all about just expanding the galaxy. So you'd have episodes of people who have never seen before, and it'd be your small episodes. I think that's the difference. Which I agree with Logan. I mean, if you liked Clone Wars, then you should like Bad Batch. Clone Wars had small episodes too. But I think the difference is your small episodes in Clone Wars had small characters. Had characters you might not have seen before. Had characters that, didn't have Anakin, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka. Anakin, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, if they were on a mission together, it was a high-stakes mission. It was something that pushed the overall story along. But if it was a story about Jar Jar and C-3PO, those episodes were good, but they weren't your push the story along episodes. They weren't your big high stakes episodes. But those are your side characters anyways. We want to see, most people might not want to see what Jar Jar's doing, but Jar Jar had some interesting episodes. C-3PO we're always going to care about. He's C-3PO. But we're not wasting a story with Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka. I think that's the difference. So let me know down in the comments below, what do you think about that difference? I said a lot in just 7 minutes. Let me know what you think about that. Because that's what I think is the difference on why we might hear complaints about Bad Batch small episodes versus Clone Wars small episodes. I think that's the difference. Now, on the other side of the Bad Batch discussion, Logan brought up yesterday, Mandalorian Season 3 is going to premiere on Wednesdays, which, when I saw it was on Wednesdays, I was a little upset, because I preferred it on Fridays, because I want to watch Mandalorian as soon as it comes out. Or as soon as I wake up on the day it comes out. I don't want any chance of whatever happened in that episode to get spoiled for me at all. So, a couple years ago when Season 2 was coming out, I would either wake up I think I would wake up at 3 a.m., watch Mandalorian, spend a few minutes scrolling through Reddit, looking at people discussing it, head back to bed for a couple hours, wake up, and go to work. And I wouldn't mind it, because Fridays were always kind of the easier day. Also, Friday's the last day of the week, so if I go into work exhausted, I can be exhausted at work. I can get through the day, I can come home, and I can just pass out for the night. It's a Friday, Don't have to work on Saturday. But on Wednesday, that's a lot harder to do, especially right now. Wednesdays are my busiest day of the week. As soon as I get off work, I'm in the car, I'm going and doing, stuff for the rest of the day. I've filled up my Wednesdays. So if I don't catch Bad Batch early in the morning, I might not see it till 10, 11 o'clock at night. And I like to scroll on my phone every once in a while. Got lunch break, time in between events. Pull up Facebook, pull up Reddit, scroll for a little bit. Something's going to pop up. Something's going to happen. Or, so. But at the same time, not only would I have Mandalorian that I really want to watch on a Wednesday morning, I got Bad Batch I really want to watch on a Wednesday morning. So why put them on the same day, and why put them on the same time? I agree with Logan on that. The same day and the same day is so weird, as well as just at the same time of reference. Of, like, just push it out a couple more weeks, end Bad Batch, and go right into Mandalorian. And I think it's just because a lot of people who would watch Mandalorian are not watching Bad Batch. A lot of people who would watch Mandalorian do not care about Bad Batch, which I think is sad, because Bad Batch overall is a really good show. But I'm super excited about Mandalorian, so we're going to have to figure out how I'm going to watch it. So, those are my thoughts. Comment below, let me know, what do you think? What do you think about Bad Batch versus Clone Wars and the differences between and all that I added? Let me know down below. As soon as this match is over, we'll end it up. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all that as well. So, with all that, y'all have a great day, and may the Force be with you.